Hello friends of Tony's Little Garden. Welcome to another video where today I bring you a new crop. In this case, it is a tuber called oca, native to the Andes, and also the good thing about it is that it is as a very resistant crop, quite rustic and easy to grow, as well as being quite productive and delicious. So stay until the end of the video where I will teach you everything you need to grow it at home. For those who do not know OCA, it is a variety of Oxalis that is edible. In fact, almost all Oxalis are, and it is a plant that produces tubers, as you can see, similar to potatoes but with a more acidic and sweeter taste. So, a combination of incredible flavors. As I mentioned before, it is native to the Andes and the mountainous area, which means it withstands the cold quite well, very important when cultivating in the garden at this time. And the best part is that it is super easy to cultivate with very little care. So we have one more crop to add to our garden. The first thing we need to do is choose the right spot. It's a crop that will be with us for about 6-7 months. So it's important that we choose a good spot where it won't interfere with the rest of the spring-summer crop. And we need to choose a sunny spot that gets full sun. It is a crop that requires many hours of light, so this place is great. We have it set apart from the main garden where we put the flowers and the auxiliary flora. As I mentioned, I have chosen this area of the garden and we are going to prepare it now. I'm going to talk about the soil requirements and the nutritional needs. So that's it. But I'm going to add manure first. While we prepare the soil, I'll tell you a little bit. Although, as I mentioned at the beginning, it is quite a hardy crop. It is true that one of the most important aspects we must consider is preparing the soil very well. Being a tubo, like all of them, we need to improve the soil structure a bit. In excessively hard or clay soils, the oca tuber will not develop well. It will be much less productive and the bulbs much smaller. So it is important to add a good amount of organic matter and thus also provide our soil with good drainage and make it rich in nutrients, which is another requirement of this crop. Additionally, it is very important that the soil can drain well, because otherwise our tubers could rot. Well, we already have our soil prepared, and one thing I haven't told you is when we need to plant OCA. To plant OCA, even though it is cold resistant, we will wait until the end of winter or the beginning of spring, when the temperatures start to rise a little and frosts become less frequent. So we already have our soil nice and light, which drains wonderfully and is rich in organic matter. So let's plant. Here we have the tubers, which we could actually cut like potatoes, looking for the sprouting buds, but we are going to plant them whole. We will divide it next year when we have a good harvest. I have two varieties, the red and the yellow. There is one more variety, the white one, but I haven't obtained it. So let's plant. For that, I have my ruler here. The planting distance between one bulb and another is at least between 30 and 40 centimeters. That is, here, since we have plenty of space, we will give them a bit more. But you should know that 30 centimeters would be more than enough. And since we already have the ground prepared, we make a hole about 5 to 7 centimeters deep, not much more, and we place our tuber. Like that, we lay it down and we could already cover it. Let's place the others. Here we will place the yellow ones and here we will place the red ones. As you see, about 30 centimeters, we'll put a little more, about 35. Like this, we make the hole here. Well, you see how simple it is to plant them. If I get another variety, I'll try to plant it, although I think I don't have space left here if I want them to develop well. And well, just to tell you that we can associate this crop with legumes like peas, fava beans, and beans. Also with leafy crops that don't grow much because they don't compete for the same nutrients and cover the soil like spinach or chard. And that's it, we have our raised bed ready. Let's cover it. Although before covering, I'm going to mark the lines to see how they're doing little by little and to be able to show you in the video. So anyway, we cover without pressing, simply cover. Let's make it as easy as possible for it to germinate like this. And we already know, after planting or sowing something, we will apply a very good watering that helps us settle the soil and start the whole germination process. And now I will tell you more about watering the OCA Even though here you see me applying a generous watering, okay, requires moderate watering. We must be very careful with waterlogging, with overwatering, as it can cause rotting of the tuber. So the ideal is moderate watering once a week or once every 5 days at most. Once this watering is applied, as I mentioned, we will apply moderate watering for the OCA crop, and germination can take up to 2 weeks. So do not worry. I am going to show you the whole process. I will show you what the germinated plant looks like, and we will connect at that moment, and I will tell you a bit more about its care and harvest. 2 weeks have passed, and look, it is already starting to germinate. The truth is that it is a slow process. It takes quite a while, especially with the low humidity we are having this spring. It is raining very little, and this is the first one to start germinating. The rest have not yet emerged, but just so you get an idea of how long it takes to germinate. So if we have little rain, we will do the watering ourselves. We will apply more regular watering, but well, with patience and little by little, and with watering, they will eventually germinate. So that's it. I will update you in a few days and show them to you. If we don't want to be constantly worrying about whether the OCA germinates or providing it with enough moisture to germinate, we can always use a small basin, or a bowl rather, with a little bit of water so they remain submerged, well, a few millimeters. And as you can see, they do not rot, and here we have total success. We already have this germinated, which we are going to plant now, and that saves us the time they would spend in the soil as well. Another different but equally valid method, depending a bit on how much of a hurry we are in, or if we are unsure whether they will germinate. As you can see, they are all sprouting small roots and none are rotting, so it's a very quick and easy way to do it. So we make the hole and we plant it. We cover a little, we don't press down, ribontes, let the whole process start. Or now we will water it more. As I said, we are having very dry springs, and the rest, little by little, when we see the shoots start to come out, we place them in their final location. Okay, na? So that's it, gardeners. You've seen how simple it is to grow OCA in our garden. It's a very interesting crop that we can more or less forget about until harvest. The only thing is to keep an eye on it, making sure it doesn't dry out too much the substrate. But as I said, it is a very rustic crop that is suitable for any corner of our garden. So I hope you liked the video, but above all, that it was helpful. And we'll see you next Thursday on the La Huertina de Tony channel. See you later.